Hello, I'm Katherine Tew Darras, ISDA's General Counsel. This morning we had a great panel on diversity, equity, and inclusion, DEI, and how this has become a risk and a priority for financial institutions. I'm joined by two of the panelists today, Gesa Johanssen, who's ISDA board member and head of clearance and collateral management at BNY Mellon, and Tuvia Borok, global head of policy and documentation at Goldman Sachs. So, how much progress do you guys think has been made on improving DEI in financial markets, and what should the priorities be going forward?
Look, I think we've definitely seen progress, and one of the biggest things is that we are starting to recognize that diversity can mean so many different things. And so I love the fact that we see conversations around socioeconomic diversity, or we've just started hearing people talk about neurodiversity. And so we're starting to expand, realizing that different people will be diverse for different reasons. I think the other great thing, which we aren't fully there and there's a lot of work to be done, is the fact that I love that we're talking about accountability. And that's so critical and key. We're never going to succeed if people don't become accountable for moving the needle in the DEI space.
I like your positivity, and I agree that we have made good progress on diversity and understanding the facets of it. But progress in terms of inclusion and equity, I think, has been a bit slow, not in all of the right places. So I think there's still a bit more for us to do. Sometimes we're struggling to measure it. So there's a transparency and data transparency discussion that we need to have. But I agree with you that now getting into the accountability part of it will help us to then accelerate the progress.
What would you guys say are the key elements of an effective DEI strategy? What do you think firms should be looking to do?
Look, accountability, which I said, we're starting to talk about, that's got to be forefront. But folks need to start thinking about it as a business strategy, right? So what is your objective? What are your key results? And then look to track against them. Have your conversations if you see that you are not hitting them. Assess why you're not hitting them and pivot if you need to. And I think once folks start thinking about it through a business strategy lens like any other business plan they would have, I think then we will start seeing a much faster shift.
That's also what we've discussed on the panel, right? So it's a business strategy that is horizontal across all of our lines of business. It's not just a side discipline. I think that's really important for success. In terms of accountability, we think it's no longer just a C-suite commitment. It's not just at the senior leaders level. It can't stop at the medium, middle management. So, I'm super proud that we have embedded it really deep into our values, behaviors, and measurable goals for every single employee. Just really kind of same factor than the performance goals, right? So if you embed this, as you were saying, it's part of our business strategy. It drives our growth, our success, our innovation. Then it needs to be equal weight in our goal setting. And this is what we are starting now. We have to learn on the process of how it's going to come out. There has been a bit of pushback discussions, but I think this is the next step, to be honest.
And I think the trick that we're missing is that we're not collaborating enough. So we're keeping it internal within our own organizations. And actually we as an industry have shown time and time again that we can come together with an issue, something complicated, and find a great solution and start working on it together.
So maybe a new ISDA initiative.
There we go.
That would be lovely.